Chosen ones. This video will be private soon. It was meant for only one person. Listen with a quiet heart, because something gentle yet powerful is unfolding in this moment, and the words reaching your eyes were never meant to wander across the world without purpose. Heaven arranged this moment with careful love, guiding one soul toward a message of comfort, hope, and divine reassurance that cannot remain open forever. If you feel a soft stirring inside your spirit while reading these lines, that quiet stirring is not accidental, because the love of God often arrives in simple moments that appear ordinary but carry life-changing meaning. Those who understand the touch of grace will recognize that this moment carries something precious, something that could strengthen a weary heart and awaken faith that has quietly waited in the shadows. Type Amen if you believe. The Lord sees every silent struggle that no one else notices, and He understands every tear that was hidden behind brave smiles during long nights of uncertainty. There were moments when hope felt distant, when the road appeared empty and quiet, and when it seemed like heaven had grown silent while the heart waited for reassurance. Yet the gentle truth remains steady and unwavering, because the love of God does not disappear when life becomes difficult, and the presence of Jesus never abandons a soul that continues walking with faith. Even when the world grows loud with fear, doubt, and confusion, the voice of heaven still whispers peace to those who choose to listen. Within the quiet flow of these words, there is a reminder that divine love is patient and deeply personal, reaching into ordinary moments with kindness that heals wounded hearts and restores weary spirits. The Lord understands the journey of every chosen soul, especially those who have walked through seasons of loneliness and misunderstanding while still holding tightly to faith. Sometimes a chosen one feels invisible among the crowd, carrying kindness inside, while the world moves quickly without noticing the quiet strength that faith creates. Yet heaven never overlooks such hearts, and the compassion of Jesus continues working behind the scenes, even when the path forward looks uncertain. Take a gentle moment to press the like button on this video, so that this message of hope and comfort can quietly reach another soul who may need encouragement today. The presence of God surrounds those who continue believing even during silent seasons, and that presence moves softly through life like warm sunlight touching a cold morning. Every difficulty that once seemed endless slowly becomes part of a greater story, a story where grace transforms pain into strength and sorrow into quiet wisdom. Those who are chosen often walk through experiences that shape their hearts with deeper compassion and deeper understanding of others. Through those experiences, the love of Jesus grows stronger within them, guiding them to become lights of comfort for people who feel lost in darkness. Many hearts feel tired because the world often rushes forward without kindness, leaving gentle souls wondering whether goodness still matters in a noisy and restless world. Yet heaven continues watching with tender attention, seeing every act of love that was offered, even when nobody noticed. Every moment when a heart chose patience instead of anger, every time kindness replaced bitterness, and every quiet prayer whispered in faith has been seen and remembered by the loving eyes of God. Those moments form a path of light that heaven continues blessing, even when the person walking that path does not realize how precious their faith truly is. Type 1111 if you trust in God. Sometimes chosen ones feel as though their lives are filled with waiting, as though blessings move slowly, while others seem to move forward quickly and easily. Yet the timing of heaven does not follow the hurried pace of the world, because divine timing is guided by wisdom that sees far beyond human understanding. The Lord prepares beautiful things carefully, shaping hearts and strengthening faith, so that when blessings arrive they carry deeper meaning and lasting peace. Those who remain faithful during quiet seasons often discover that their patience becomes the doorway through which greater joy and purpose enter their lives. There are hearts reading these words that once felt broken by disappointment, yet they still continued believing that God's love had not forgotten them. That quiet determination, even during sorrowful moments, is precious in the eyes of heaven, because faith that survives hardship becomes stronger and brighter. Jesus understands every hidden pain carried by chosen souls, and his compassion gently reaches into those places with healing that unfolds slowly but surely. Through that healing, the heart begins discovering new strength, new hope, and a deeper connection with the love of God. Sometimes the most meaningful blessings arrive in ways that appear small and simple at first, yet those small moments quietly transform lives over time. A peaceful feeling during prayer, a comforting thought appearing during difficult days, or an unexpected reminder of hope can become powerful signs of divine care. Those signs remind chosen ones that heaven is still close, still guiding, and still protecting them through every step of their journey. Even when the world seems uncertain and restless, the love of God continues creating quiet miracles inside faithful hearts. The path of a chosen soul often carries a deeper purpose that unfolds gradually, revealing new layers of meaning as life moves forward. Through kindness, patience, and compassion, that soul becomes a living reflection of the gentle teachings of Jesus. Every encouraging word offered to someone who feels discouraged becomes a seed of light planted in another heart. Every act of forgiveness, offered when anger could have taken control, becomes a reflection of divine love working quietly through human life. The Lord understands that the journey sometimes feels long and heavy, especially when hope seems delayed and answers feel distant. Yet the presence of Jesus walks beside every faithful heart, offering strength that cannot be seen but can always be felt by those who trust in God. In moments when strength feels small, heaven quietly provides courage to continue moving forward with faith and love. Through that steady guidance, the chosen soul grows stronger, wiser, and more compassionate with each passing season. What if abundance had always been influenced by a hidden brain signal, buried in classified records, and never fully disclosed to the public? This frequency is now creating new pathways, attracting opportunities, and reshaping lives faster than expected. Thousands are already using it to draw wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brainwave today. The story unfolding in the life of a chosen one is never ordinary, because divine purpose weaves meaning through every moment, even those that once appeared painful or confusing. What once looked like loss slowly becomes preparation, and what once felt like delay becomes protection from paths that were never meant to be walked. Through faith, the heart begins seeing life through the gentle light of heaven, understanding that God's love continues shaping every chapter of the journey. Many chosen hearts have experienced seasons where everything seemed still, as though nothing new was happening, and progress felt slow. During those quiet seasons, it can feel as if prayers are floating into the sky without any visible answer returning to the earth. Yet heaven is never silent in the way human hearts sometimes imagine, because God continues working with loving care even when the evidence cannot yet be seen. Every moment of trust, every act of kindness, and every quiet prayer offered with sincerity becomes part of a greater story that the Lord is shaping with wisdom and love. Those who belong to Christ often carry a deeper sensitivity toward the pain and struggles of others. This compassion is not weakness, even though the world sometimes misunderstands gentle hearts that choose kindness instead of harshness. The compassion growing inside a chosen soul is one of the beautiful reflections of Jesus living within the human heart. Through that compassion, the light of heaven reaches places where darkness once seemed strong, quietly reminding people that love and grace still exist. Type 2020 to claim miracles. The presence of Jesus has a way of strengthening hearts in moments when discouragement tries to take root. When life becomes heavy and uncertainty surrounds the path ahead, the gentle Spirit of Christ moves like calm water over a troubled mind. That calm presence reminds chosen ones that their lives are held within the careful hands of God, and those hands never lose their grip on the souls they love. Even when circumstances appear confusing, the guidance of heaven continues moving quietly beneath the surface of everyday life. Sometimes the chosen feel misunderstood by those around them, especially when their values reflect patience, forgiveness, and humility rather than pride or competition. The world often rewards loud voices and quick success, yet the kingdom of God honors hearts that remain faithful even when recognition does not appear. Jesus himself walked a path that many people failed to understand during his time on earth, yet his love remained steady and compassionate through every moment. In the same way, those who follow his example often find themselves walking a road that requires courage, faith, and gentle endurance. The love of God has a beautiful way of restoring hearts that once felt wounded by disappointment or rejection. When someone continues trusting in the goodness of heaven despite painful experiences, that faith becomes a powerful testimony of hope. Slowly, the Lord begins healing the places that once carried sorrow, replacing those memories with strength and quiet wisdom. Through that healing process, the chosen soul becomes stronger, not because hardship disappeared, but because divine love transformed the heart from within. There are countless people in this world searching for peace that money, success, and recognition cannot provide. The peace that truly satisfies the human heart flows only from the presence of God and the teachings of Jesus Christ. That peace settles deeply within the soul, bringing calmness even when life feels uncertain or overwhelming. Those who carry that peace become quiet lights for others, simply by living with kindness, humility, and unwavering faith. Take a gentle moment now to breathe slowly and allow the warmth of God's presence to settle peacefully in your heart, because His love continues surrounding your life with protection and care. Even when days appear ordinary, heaven is still active in ways that cannot always be seen immediately. Every sunrise, every quiet moment of reflection, and every small act of kindness becomes part of the beautiful story God is writing through your life. That story is not rushed, and it unfolds with patience that reflects the wisdom of heaven. The journey of a chosen soul often includes moments where hope must be held gently, even when circumstances appear discouraging. During those moments, faith becomes like a small flame that continues burning in the darkness. Though the flame may seem fragile at times, the breath of God protects it from being extinguished. Slowly, that flame grows stronger, filling the heart with renewed courage and peaceful assurance. Many people imagine that chosen individuals always live easy lives, filled with constant success and visible blessings. Yet the truth is far deeper and more meaningful than that simple idea. Chosen souls often walk through experiences that shape their character, deepen their compassion, and strengthen their trust in God. Through those experiences, they become vessels of comfort and encouragement for others who feel lost or discouraged. When someone encounters a person whose life reflects genuine faith, it often creates a quiet spark of hope within the observer. That spark begins reminding them that goodness still exists and that the love of Jesus continues working through ordinary people. In this way, the presence of God spreads gently across the world through hearts that choose love over bitterness and faith over fear. Every chosen soul becomes a living testimony that divine grace still transforms lives. Type 2323 if you agree. There are seasons when blessings appear unexpectedly, arriving at moments when the heart had nearly forgotten how to hope. Those moments remind chosen souls that God's timing carries wisdom far beyond human understanding. What once looked like delay often becomes preparation for something far more beautiful than what the heart originally imagined. Through patience and faith, the chosen begin recognizing that every step of their journey has been guided with loving care. The teachings of Jesus continue encouraging believers to live with compassion and humility, even in a world that sometimes values power and recognition more than kindness. When a chosen soul chooses forgiveness instead of resentment, they reflect the gentle spirit of Christ in a powerful way. That simple act of grace becomes a quiet miracle because it breaks cycles of anger and replaces them with healing. The love of God never grows tired of guiding His children toward hope, even when they stumble along the path. Each time a heart turns again toward faith, heaven welcomes that return with open arms and renewed compassion. Through that loving guidance, the chosen soul slowly learns that divine grace is stronger than every mistake, every fear, and every moment of doubt. A concealed brainwave once stored in classified files is said to ignite strong prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch in your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. As the journey continues, the chosen begin seeing life through a clearer and more peaceful perspective. They begin understanding that every season carries purpose, and every experience contributes to the growth of their spirit. Even the moments that once seemed painful eventually become stepping stones that lead toward deeper faith and greater compassion. Through every chapter of this journey, the presence of Jesus remains steady and unchanging. His love continues flowing like a gentle river through the lives of those who trust in God. That love strengthens hearts, heals wounds, and reminds every chosen soul that they are walking a path filled with meaning. The story unfolding in your life is still being written by the loving hands of heaven. Each day brings new opportunities to reflect the kindness, patience, and faith that Jesus taught through His example. As that story continues growing, the light of God's love will keep shining through your life in ways that bring hope and encouragement to many hearts. Even during seasons when the road felt uncertain and the nights felt long, the hand of heaven never moved away from their journey. The presence of Jesus was always near, quietly strengthening the spirit and gently leading the heart forward, even when the path seemed hidden by doubt. Many chosen ones have walked through chapters of life where they felt overlooked or misunderstood by the people around them. Their kindness was sometimes mistaken for weakness, and their patience was sometimes tested by situations that seemed unfair or painful. Yet every moment of endurance shaped their spirit with deeper compassion and greater wisdom. The Lord often prepares chosen hearts through experiences that teach them humility, mercy, and a quiet strength that cannot easily be shaken. Those experiences are never wasted in the eyes of heaven because they become part of a beautiful transformation inside the soul. When a person continues trusting God through difficulty, something powerful begins growing within their heart. That growth is not always visible to the world, but it is precious to the Lord who sees every detail of the journey. The quiet strength that forms inside a faithful soul eventually becomes a source of comfort for others who are walking through their own struggles. Type 1919 to receive miracles. The love of God has a remarkable way of reaching into ordinary moments and filling them with extraordinary meaning. A simple day that once felt routine can suddenly become a moment of divine reassurance when the heart remembers that heaven is always present. The teachings of Jesus remind believers that faith does not require loud signs or dramatic events to be real. Often the most powerful expressions of faith appear through gentle acts of kindness, patience, and compassion toward others. Chosen souls frequently carry a deeper awareness of the spiritual needs around them. They sense when someone is hurting, even when that person tries to hide their pain behind a smile. This sensitivity is not accidental, because the love of Christ naturally awakens empathy within hearts that follow his path. Through that empathy, chosen individuals become quiet instruments of comfort, offering encouragement that brings hope to those who feel forgotten or discouraged. Sometimes a chosen person feels as though they are walking a lonely road, especially when their values do not match the noise and ambition that dominate the world around them. Yet the road of faith has always been different from the crowded roads that chase recognition and approval. The path of Jesus is a path of humility, kindness, and steadfast love that remains strong even when the world appears restless. Those who walk this path carry a light that quietly shines in places where darkness once seemed overwhelming. There are moments when the heart wonders whether the prayers spoken in faith have truly been heard. In those moments, it is important to remember that heaven listens with perfect attention to every sincere word offered in trust. God understands the hopes, the fears, and the quiet desires that live within every chosen soul. Nothing spoken from a sincere heart is ever ignored, because divine love listens with patience that never fades. Type yes to affirm. The Lord often answers prayers in ways that unfold gradually rather than appearing suddenly. Blessings sometimes arrive step by step, revealing themselves through small changes that slowly transform a person's life. At first, those changes may appear simple or ordinary, yet over time they create a path that leads toward greater peace and deeper purpose. Through those gentle answers, the chosen begin recognizing that God's wisdom guides every detail with perfect care. Faith becomes stronger each time a person remembers how God has already carried them through previous seasons of difficulty. When the mind looks back and sees how challenges eventually turned into growth, the heart gains courage for the future. This remembrance strengthens trust in the goodness of heaven and renews confidence that the journey ahead is also being guided. Through faith, the chosen begin understanding that every step of their story is connected to a greater purpose. There is a quiet beauty in the way Jesus teaches believers to treat others with compassion and patience. His example shows that true strength is found not in power or recognition, but in love that remains gentle even when life becomes difficult. When a chosen soul reflects that love through their actions, they become a living reflection of divine grace. Their presence begins bringing peace into conversations, encouragement into difficult moments, and hope into hearts that once felt tired. The influence of a faithful life often reaches farther than the person realizes. A single act of kindness can brighten someone's entire day and inspire them to pass that kindness forward. In this way, the love of God spreads quietly through everyday interactions that appear small but carry deep meaning. The world may overlook those moments, yet heaven sees them clearly and celebrates the goodness growing through faithful hearts. Many people search endlessly for fulfillment in things that promise happiness but fail to satisfy the deeper needs of the soul. Success, possessions, and recognition may bring temporary excitement, yet they rarely bring lasting peace. The peace that truly satisfies the heart comes from walking closely with God and trusting the teachings of Jesus. That peace grows steadily within the soul and becomes a source of calm strength during every season of life. Deep within your brain is a small area tied to wealth and success, once hidden in restricted studies and classified documents. This newly uncovered frequency is helping people exchange financial stress for ease, and God has led you to see this message at this very moment. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brainwave now. The journey of a chosen one gradually reveals that their life carries meaning beyond personal success or recognition. Their presence in the world becomes a quiet blessing for others who are searching for encouragement. Through simple acts of kindness and faithful living, they become reminders that divine love is still active in the world. This purpose may unfold slowly, yet its impact reaches many lives in ways that cannot always be measured. Sometimes, blessings appear in unexpected ways, arriving when the heart has almost stopped waiting. A new opportunity, a restored relationship, or a renewed sense of purpose may suddenly emerge after a long season of patience. Those moments remind the chosen that God's timing carries wisdom far greater than human understanding. What once seemed like delay often becomes the preparation that allows blessings to arrive at the perfect moment. Every chosen soul carries a story that reflects both struggle and grace, working together through time. The difficult chapters build resilience, while the peaceful chapters reveal the beauty of divine care. Together, those chapters create a life that reflects the enduring love of God. Through that story, others begin discovering hope, realizing that their own lives can also be touched by the same divine guidance. The presence of Jesus continues walking beside every heart that trusts in him. His compassion remains steady even when circumstances change, offering reassurance that faith is never misplaced. When the chosen remember this truth, their hearts find courage to continue moving forward with confidence. They understand that the same love which guided them yesterday will continue guiding them tomorrow. As the journey unfolds, the chosen begin seeing the quiet miracles that appear throughout their lives. These miracles may not always arrive with dramatic signs, yet they reveal themselves through peace that replaces worry and strength that appears during weakness. They become reminders that God is actively working behind the scenes of every faithful life. The love of Jesus has been present through every chapter, shaping the spirit with patience and strengthening faith through experiences that could not be understood at the time. When this realization settles into the heart, it brings a deep sense of peace that cannot be easily shaken by the noise of the world. The journey of faith is rarely loud or dramatic in the way people often expect. Instead, it unfolds gently, like the slow rising of sunlight that quietly fills the sky with warmth and light. Those who walk closely with God often discover that the most powerful transformations happen inside the heart rather than outside, in visible circumstances. The presence of Christ gradually reshapes thoughts, softens wounded places within the soul, and replaces fear with calm confidence that heaven is still in control. Many chosen ones remember seasons when life felt uncertain and overwhelming, when it seemed as though the path ahead had disappeared into darkness. During those times, the heart had to rely completely on faith, trusting that God was still guiding every step forward. Even when the answers did not arrive immediately, the quiet assurance of divine love continued holding the soul together. That kind of faith becomes a powerful foundation that cannot easily be broken by future challenges. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. Walking with God often requires a gentle kind of courage that is not always recognized by the world. It is the courage to remain kind in situations where anger would feel easier. It is the courage to forgive when the heart has every reason to hold on to pain. It is also the courage to keep believing in goodness even when the world appears full of confusion and disappointment. This quiet courage grows from the presence of Jesus living within the heart, guiding believers to reflect his love in everyday life. The teachings of Christ encourage believers to live with compassion, humility, and patience toward others. These qualities may appear simple, yet they carry tremendous power to transform the atmosphere around them. When a chosen soul responds to life with kindness rather than bitterness, they create a space where healing and hope can flourish. Through those actions, the love of God spreads quietly, touching lives in ways that cannot always be measured or fully understood. There are people in the world who have almost forgotten what genuine kindness feels like because they have experienced too much disappointment and hurt. When they encounter someone whose life reflects the gentle spirit of Jesus, it often awakens a spark of hope within them. That spark begins reminding them that love still exists and that God has not abandoned humanity. In this way, the life of a faithful believer becomes a living testimony that divine grace continues working in the world. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. The presence of Jesus brings a calm strength that helps believers face difficulties with patience rather than fear. When challenges arise, that strength reminds the heart that God has already carried them through many storms before. The memory of past deliverance becomes a source of courage, encouraging the soul to trust that heaven will guide them again. Each time faith is tested and remains steady, it grows stronger and more deeply rooted within the spirit. The love of God does not remove every challenge from the life of a chosen soul, but it transforms the way those challenges are experienced. Instead of becoming sources of despair, difficulties become opportunities for spiritual growth and deeper understanding. Through those experiences, the heart learns how to rely more fully on divine wisdom rather than human strength alone. That reliance brings a sense of peace that remains steady even during uncertain moments. There are times when blessings arrive quietly, appearing in ways that might easily be overlooked if the heart is not paying attention. A moment of unexpected encouragement, a new opportunity appearing at the right time, or a feeling of peace during a difficult day can all be signs of God's presence. These small miracles remind believers that heaven continues working gently within their lives. Over time, those quiet moments form a beautiful pattern that reveals the loving care of God. A 7-second brainwave approach, previously limited to elite groups and stored in classified files, is now available to everyone, and many call it the 30-second miracle. Researchers claim it stimulates a dormant brain center associated with prosperity and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it is removed from the internet again. Chosen ones often discover that their purpose involves bringing encouragement to others who feel lost or discouraged. Their words, actions, and presence become sources of comfort for people who are searching for hope. This influence does not require fame or recognition, because its true power lies in sincerity and compassion. Through everyday interactions, the love of Christ flows outward, touching lives in ways that may never fully be seen. Faith also teaches the heart to trust the timing of heaven, even when human understanding struggles to see the reason behind certain delays. God's wisdom sees the entire journey, while human vision often sees only a small portion of the path ahead. What feels like waiting can actually be preparation for blessings that require the right moment to unfold. When those blessings finally appear, the heart begins understanding why patience was necessary. The chosen soul gradually learns that life is not defined by temporary circumstances, but by the enduring presence of God within the heart. External situations may change, but the love of Jesus remains constant and unchanging. This truth becomes a foundation of stability that allows believers to face the future with calm assurance. Through faith, they realize that their lives are held within the steady hands of heaven. Many people spend years searching for meaning and fulfillment in places that promise happiness, but fail to satisfy the deeper needs of the soul. The teachings of Jesus reveal that true fulfillment is found through love, faith, and a relationship with God. When a chosen soul embraces this truth, their life begins reflecting a deeper peace that others can see and feel. That peace becomes a quiet invitation for others to seek the same source of hope. Every chapter of a faithful life contributes to a greater story that God continues writing with wisdom and care. The struggles shape resilience, the moments of joy strengthen gratitude, and the seasons of waiting deepen trust in divine guidance.